Dear Venerable Sirs and all the Dharma brothers and sisters, good afternoon. Usually people are afraid of death and even not like to discuss about that. Especially to the Chinese people, to talk about death is something very, it's not very good to talk about it. Because they think maybe bring some bad fortune to their life when they talk about this. And in the Chinese culture, in general, we believe a person, when a person dies, he becomes a ghost in the other realm. So we have the human world, and then we have the world of the ghost. However, that is not the Buddhist understanding. Our loved ones or ancestors, when they die, they don't go to the ghost world. Instead, they take rebirth. They might come back as human beings again, or they might even go to the heavens. Of course, if they have negative karma in the past, they might go to other lower realms of animal, hungry ghosts, and hell. So not everybody who died always take rebirth in the ghost realm. So for Chinese people, I often said, don't say that your ancestors are born as ghosts, because that's like saying something negative, putting them down, because they not necessarily take birth in that particular realm. And so we have to know, what is death? How do we go through death? And what causes us to take rebirth? Usually, like for example, right now we are sitting here, our body is healthy, our mind is clear. How much thought can you control, or you are able to direct positive and negative thoughts? If you have negative thoughts, are you able to avoid? Your positive thought, you are able to carry it out. Are you able to make that decision wisely, consciously and wisely? We probably can do it for maybe 50 or 60%. Sometimes because the defilement is too strong, we are not able to control our thoughts. But imagine a person who is ill. Now the body is not feeling well. How much of your thought you are clear and able to control? Then from when you're healthy, maybe 50, 60%, probably drop to 20%. And then when we are asleep, when we are sleeping, you may have some dream, thoughts. How much thoughts are you able to control? Maybe not even probably 1%. So what is death like? Death is like going in a dream and your body is sick at the same time. So at that state, our mind is in chaos. We have many fear and suffering. So at that time, to be able to keep a clear mind and make it right, to have hold the right thought. It's difficult, very difficult. That's why people usually just follow the karma and take rebirth. They are not able to decide or make decision where they wanted to take rebirth. They cannot. Because at that time, you just follow whatever that comes, the thought that comes, and then just go. So, that's why we practice meditation in this daily life. It's important. Because we are training our thoughts. And build, also, when we keep the sila, the precepts, we refrain from certain activities and become familiar with the positive activities, good activities. So that when we come to this death state, when we come to this near-death state, we will be able to give rise to positive thoughts. We will be able to follow the good karma and not the negative. And so that's why it is important to practice meditation and to keep the silas, not just in the present moment, it will help us to have a good life, but at the moment of death, it also helps us. In Buddhism, in Mahayana Buddhism, we say, a person takes rebirth based on 4 things. One is their karma. Okay? So how big the karma is, how strong the karma is, that person will take that karma and you will follow it. So if a person who dies, he has good karma, strong, good karma. When he dies, he doesn't go to in the intermediate state. He immediately take rebirth because the power of that karma is strong. Or the person may have a very negative karma. Also that person take rebirth immediately. And then that left behind is those who is undecided. They have some good karma in their life, and they have some bad karma in their life. And so they cannot make the decision. And so for those beings who go into the death state, they will enter the next stage, the intermediate stage. And we say that sentient being, when that person goes into that stage, the lifespan of that intermediate state is 7 days. 7 days. In that time, during that time, that sentient being will make up his decision where he wanted to go. He might follow his good karma and go to the take rebirth in the positive realms, wholesome realms. Or he might take the negative karma and go to the lower realms. So karma is the first determination where we take our rebirth. And second is our habitual tendencies. What we like and what we don't like. We build up certain tendency of doing things. Like for example, somebody who maybe do the business killing chicken, let's say. So that's his work every day. Okay? So he has become habitually familiar with that kind of activity. So when he see that he likes or he's familiar with that condition, he take rebirth in those kind of situation or environment. That is the second reason or second determinant for rebirth. And then the third is our thought, the moment of death. In Chinese Buddhism, when someone dies, we will invite the monks or nun, go to the person and then guide the person to chant the Buddha's name. Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amitofo. Because there's a sutra in Mahayana Buddhism, Foso Amitofo Jing. The Buddha speaks about the Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land. It says in there that if a person who cultivates good and gives rise to bodhicitta, if he gave a vow he wanted to take rebirth in the Pure Land, with sincerity, with one chant to 10 recitation of the Buddha's name, Buddha will have compassion for him and liberate him, help to liberate him, and bring him to the Pure Land. So, because of this teaching, so that's why in Mahayana Buddhism, for someone who is in the process of dying, we will go to the person and guide that person to chant the Buddha's name so that he will take rebirth in the Pure Land. So the last moment of death, to have good thoughts, wholesome thoughts, is important. Because when we are in fear, it kind of motivates or helps facilitate the negative things to come out of us in our consciousness. So with the positive thoughts, it will help us bring out the positive things within us. So that's why usually when we go to a household with someone who is about to die, we will ask the family, do not cry. This is not the time for crying. Because if we really want to bring blessings to this person, we should pray for it, not cry. I know we are sad at this moment, but we should change this energy and change it into a positive thing for blessing, not to hurt that person, to bring down the energy low. Because when you cry, the person who's dying also feel it. He's sad, he's afraid. He's the one dying, right? He's the one dying, so he's afraid. So don't cry and give him more problems. We should try to help him, encourage him, and chant the Buddha's name for him. So, and you will see the changes even sometimes when I go to help someone who is entering the state of death. When they're ill, you know, their body, their face, the complexion is not very good looking, dark maybe. And when they die, maybe their eyes open or the mouth open. Right? But after you started to talk to them and guide them and then chant the Buddha's name, you start to changes. Their eyes slowly will close and then the mouth close. So that means their mind become calm now, peaceful now. Even there was one time I went to the United States, and there was this young guy who had a heart attack, about 33 years old, had a heart attack and was discovered too late. He had actually a stroke. So when they took him to the hospital, his half brain is dead. And so when I go there, he's struggling. The face all red and struggling because I think he's very afraid. What's happening to me? So I go to him, I say, you must know your condition at this moment because your body right now suffers from this stroke. You must know. If we wanted to help you, you must follow what I say. if you want to receive help. And so I guided him and then chanted the Buddha's name. And then slowly you see him, at first he was struggling, the nurse trying to put injections in him, they couldn't do it. And the heartbeat is so high that they couldn't do anything to help him. But slowly he calmed down. And after we chanted for maybe 3 or 4 hours, he went in peace.